goalless shutout against Tunisia in their tournament opener, their third consecutive draw in the World Cup finals. At a tournament where Kylian Mbappe was hoping to cast the title role, all eyes on whether Olivier Giroud can break the all-time French goal-scoring record. Currently level with Thierry Henry, goal number 52 for his nation, who puts him in front of all before him. To the team news then, and both teams make two changes from their opening matches. For France, they start with Hugo Lloris in goal, earning his 141st cap for his country. The two changes come in defence. Theo Hernandez coming in for his brother Lucas, who suffered an ACL injury in that victory over Australia on Tuesday night, whilst Raphael Varane is fit again overcoming a thigh injury, and he will feature this afternoon. Jules Koundé and Daya Upamecano are the other two in central defence. The attacking options stay the same. In midfield is Antoine Griezmann, Aurélien Tchouameni and Adrien Rabiot, with Olivier Giroud, Kylian Mbappe and Ousmane Dembele up top for Didier Deschamps' side. Meanwhile, for Denmark, they start with Kasper Schmeichel in goal. Victor Nelson comes into the side with Joachim Andersen and Andreas Christensen either side of him. In midfield is Joachim Mæhle, Christian Eriksen, Rasmus Christensen and Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. Mikkel Damsgaard comes into the lineup with Andreas Cornelius and Jesper Lindstrøm up top as well. They're lining up in a 3-4-3 formation, France in a 4-3-3. And this is Group D action, which is coming to you from Stadium 947 on the Flash Score live audio commentary service. Reminder, this is an unofficial commentary of the 2022 FIFA World Cup in Qatar. A very good afternoon to you all, wherever you are tuning in to us from, as we see whether the reigning and defending world champions France can move their way into the last 16 of this year's tournament. A point will do. Kylian Mbappe, the man centre stage for France. He was the star en route to winning the title back in Russia in 2018, but it's Olivier Giroud this time round who has history on his mind, looking to overhaul Thierry Henry as the outright top goal scorer for his nation. It's going to be Denmark to get us underway, attacking from right to left in this first half in the white shirts, red shorts, white stockings. France in blue shirts, white shorts and red stockings. And they'll be attacking our left to right in this opening period. Well, Denmark, who got us underway, they have the ball out on the right hand side in these opening exchanges, and the ball is switched out in towards the path of Joachim Mæhle. Left flank played back in towards the path of Christian Eriksen. Unmistakable figure whose tournament finals last time came to an end in a tragic circumstance. We all remember the pictures from Copenhagen on that particular afternoon, but back at a major tournament for the first time since, and looking to propel Denmark to great heights this time round. Semi-finalists at the European Championships the summer previous. What can they do here in Qatar? It was a 0-0 draw for them first time out against Tunisia. That was their fourth consecutive draw in the competition. Only once has their team drawn more games in a competition final. Belgium with 5 between 1998 and 2002. Minute and a half on the clock then here at Stadium 947 on the outskirts of Doha. France 0, Denmark 0. Both teams just feeling each other out in these opening stages. Didier Deschamps, one of two managers to have won the World Cup as both a player and manager, as Beckenbauer being the other, but it's Denmark in possession here. Eriksen lays it off out onto the right hand side in towards the path of Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, but it's cleared away by Theo Hernandez, who takes the place of his brother following that injury in the opening stages of that 4-1 victory against Australia on Tuesday evening. But it's Denmark who have it just beyond the halfway, out on the left hand side in the possession of Joachim Mæhle. Back to Kasper Schmeichel between the sticks for Denmark, who left the Premier League in the summer, joining Liga club Nice from Leicester. The ball out on this left hand side for Denmark, just beyond the halfway. Now move back inside their own half with Victor Nelson. Moves it in towards the middle. First time ball back in towards Nelson's path again. There was an opportunity first time round for a crossover ball, but they decided to go through the centre again and back out towards the left, but it is intercepted by Jules Koundé. But Lundstrøm brought to the ground by Semenit, who just clips him and wins Denmark a free kick around about 30 yards from goal, just off centre to the left. It's played out to the left for Eriksen to take. Cross goes into the penalty area by Mayo, cleared away by France, only as far as Eriksen again, who's playing not so deep for the Danes today. 3 minutes gone, France 0, Denmark 0. Ball switched out towards the left-hand side, and it's been Denmark who've dominated possession so far, but this could be the first attacking foray for France. Dembele played along the line towards Rabiot, out towards the left where the unmistakable Kylian Mbappe tries to move his way inside, but it's won back by Denmark, who now look to move their way forward through the middle, out towards the left and towards the halfway. The ball in the possession of Mikkel Damsgaard, into the line up this afternoon, shifting play from left to right, and the ball goes forward in towards the path of Andreas Cornelius, who got between the two French defenders, but they couldn't have a ball played into him. Quite the position that he would have liked, and so Lloris over the ball for France. 4 minutes gone. Danes in control thus far. 0-0 though. Scoreline. Upamenko shifting it out to his left-hand side towards Semenit in the middle, who greatest attribute is the way he can bring his team up the pitch. It's something that's been a key part of his game since he's joined Real Madrid in the summer, but Denmark retain possession on the halfway. It is Højbjerg who plays it out towards the right-hand flank. It moves back in towards the centre in the middle of the park again, and then shifted out towards the right-hand side, in towards the path of Jesper Lindstrøm. Hernandez for France, who clears the ball away, out for a Denmark throw on this far side. As we look at proceedings, it's the right-hand side as Denmark attack in this first half. 5 goal. Throw goes in towards the penalty area. Going to shift it across in towards the path of Joachim Mayo, but it's going to be cleared away by Ousmane Dembele, who now moves inside on the right-hand flank and gets France going towards the halfway. Shifts it out towards the left-hand side, in towards the path of Rabiot, and it goes towards Kylian Mbappe, edge of the penalty area. Short, in towards the path of Dembele, brings it inside, shakes the shoot, but Eriksen managing to get something to the effort, and Denmark playing it around their penalty area before clearing it away, but they lose out possession to Jules Koundé. But as soon as he played the pass forward, Denmark retained possession with Joachim Mayo. 5.5 minutes gone. France 0, Denmark 0 here on the Flash Score live audio commentary service. Group D action from the FIFA World Cup between France and Denmark. Ball on the halfway, shifted out towards the right-hand flank. In the possession of Mikkel Damsgaard, one of a number of Brentford players in this Denmark team. It's him again, who manages to play the ball forward in towards the path of Eriksen. Inside the penalty area it goes as he brought it in towards the middle from the left-hand side on the edge of the penalty area, but it was a comfortable take in the end for Hugo Lloris as the ball was threaded into the penalty area. France with it with Semenit back in towards the path of Rabiot. About 7 minutes played here. France 0, Denmark 0 here at Stadium 947. Now, you're probably wondering why it's called that. Well, it's named after the dialing code for Doha, built off of a number of used shipping containers. It's actually going to be dismantled following the end of the World Cup. So temporary in every single facet. France with possession on the halfway. Kylian Mbappe back in towards the path of Makenko. Hernandez out towards Kylian Mbappe, but challenge from Christensen, sees the ball go out of play for a France throw. 15 yards inside the Denmark half, out on the left-hand side as they attack in the opening period. Denmark manager Cassie Humans, who's been manager of the side for 2 years now, actually retired age 26 as a player due to a vicious knee injury, but now taking pride of place as manager of his national team. And he's currently watching France on the attack because Mbappe whips a ball in, right-footed, looking to find Olivier Giroud in the penalty area, headed away by Denmark, but France retained possession on the halfway. 8 minutes played, France 0, Denmark 0 here on the Flash Score Live audio commentary service. Raphael Varane, who returns to the French side this afternoon after overcoming a thigh injury. Antoine Griezmann played out now in towards the path of Koundé. Into the middle and in towards the path of Meccano. France are also looking to make a bit of World Cup history here today. A victory would be their 6th consecutive in the finals. It's only been done once before. That was by Spain in the 2010 tournament. They could do right here, right now, give themselves a lead. The ball goes in towards the penalty, towards the back post. Flick back towards Giroud. From about 12 yards out, was given a golden opportunity, but Denmark managed to clear their lines. It's the first real four-way forward for France. Griezmann, right-hand side, midway inside the half, but the ball's given away. Denmark look to break. Eriksen playing it out towards the right-hand side on the halfway. 9.5 minutes gone. France 0, Denmark 0. Here at Stadium 947. Denmark with possession inside their own half now. Joachim Andersen plays it on the line towards Victor Nelson. Now it goes in towards the path of Joachim Mæhle. Eriksen switching it from left out towards the right-hand flank. Inside the penalty area it goes. Shifted in towards the box, in towards the path of Jesper Lundstrøm. And they thought the ball went out of play for a corner. Actually hits the flag, so Lindström has to play it back and dummy it in towards the path of Højbjerg, who delivers a delicious looking cross into the penalty area, but Hugo Lloris comes jumping out, rises the highest to the attempt as Andreas Cornelius was looking to bundle it home for Denmark. He comes out, claims the ball and stops Denmark in their tracks. They look to build from the back. This is Raphael Varane in towards the path of Adrien Rabiot. Moved out now towards the left-hand side, midway inside their own half, now moving towards the centre. This is Kylian Mbappe in the middle of the park. Khomeini, 11 minutes gone. France 0, Denmark 0 here on the Flash Score Live audio commentary service. This is Rabiot advancing in towards Denmark territory, in towards Khomeini in the middle, and shifted out towards the left-hand side. 10 yards inside the Denmark half. France had possession, and the ball with Theo Fernandez. Now Griezmann looking to find Mbappe on the overlapping run, but couldn't quite on this occasion. This is Antoine Griezmann again on the left-hand flank, this time managing to find Mbappe, who's hauled to ground. Joachim Andersen giving away the free kick from a Danish perspective. Griezmann threading in Griezmann, and then Joachim Andersen from behind, bringing Mbappe down. So it gives France the first real set-piece opportunity of the game. 12 minutes in, 0-0 between France and Denmark here in Group D on the Flash Score Live audio commentary service. It's going to be Griezmann to take 35 yards out, swung in on his left foot and headed out of play for a French corner. It was Cornelius who rose highest following a dangerous whipped-in free kick towards the penalty spot where Raphael Varane was looking to head first. He misses the ball. It was Giroud that was the intended target, but it's headed out of play nonetheless, and it's going to be a French corner. 12 minutes in, it's going to be taken out on the right-hand side as they attack the near flank. As we look, it's going to be Antoine Griezmann to take. It's going to be a left-footed in-swinging corner, and it looks as if it's going to be towards the penalty spot where it's flicked on, and it was towards Giroud at the back post, but he couldn't connect to it. Denmark clear it away with Christian Eriksen. The ball inside the French half, but as much as Michael Damsgaard tried to make chase, Hugo Lloris gets there first and lumps the ball forward first time for France in towards the path of Antoine Griezmann, but the referee blows up for a free kick as Ousmane Dembele fouls Victor Nelson. Just a little elbow from behind as have a look at replay of the corner. It was Raphael Varane who flicked the ball on first, and it looked as if it was going to find Olivier Giroud at the back post, who only needed a touch to send it home, but it was excellent defending by the Danes to clear it off the line. It was Victor Nelson who managed to get it away. So 13.5 minutes played, and France have given Denmark a bit of a warning shot here. 0-0 the score. Reminder, a draw is good enough for the French to progress through to the knockout stages, and the last time these two met at the World Cup was 4 years ago, and a 0-0 draw was good enough for both teams to progress, and lo and behold, that was the final score. France in possession then. Jules Koundé on the right hand side, advancing just beyond the halfway. Dembele back to Koundé, made the underlapping run, but it's dispossessed. Denmark with it beyond the halfway. Michael Damsgaard are going to move his way forward, but a brilliant challenge from Griezmann wins possession back for France. It's now with Raphael Varane on the edge of his own penalty area, plays it out in towards the path of Lukakano, and now let's move forward out with Rio Hernandez. Now Kylian Mbappe moves inside from the left-hand flank, 25 yards from goal. Play back to Choumeni. Hernandez again. Kylian Mbappe, 15 yards inside the Denmark half. Crossfield ball from left to right in towards the path of Dembele. Edge of the penalty area. Challenged by Mahel, but Dembele retains possession. Puts the cross in. Right foot towards the back post. In towards the path of Giroud, who flicks on, but the ball goes out of play. And a little bit of afters between him and Joachim Andersen as a result. But it was excellent play from Dembele to get the better of Joachim Milo, and then the cross goes in towards the penalty area, in towards the path of Giroud, who couldn't get his head towards it. And the ball goes out of play for a Danish goal kick. 15 gone. France 0, Denmark 0 here on the Flash Score Live audio commentary service. You have just joined us for the first time today. Been a plethora of action earlier on in this group. Australia claimed their first World Cup victory since 2010, getting the better of Tunisia by 1-0. And in our previous match, Poland were the better of Saudi Arabia by 2-0. One more game coming up later on this evening. Argentina's hopes of qualification hanging by a thread. They need to beat Mexico, defeat, and they could be eliminated from the competition. That's a 7 o'clock start, and you can listen to that game with us here on the Flash Score Live audio commentary service. There's also a number of games taking place in the FA Cup. You can follow all of those matches with us here on the Flash Score Live audio, well, on Flash Score. And of course, a number of games taking place all around the world. 173 matches you can keep up to date live from right now on Flash Score, but the one we're focusing on here is from Stadium 947. It's France 0, Denmark 0 in Group D of the FIFA World Cup. And it is Denmark in possession with Kasper Schmeichel between the sticks. Schmeichel, whose save in the 0-0 draw with Tunisia on Tuesday was described as one of the best seen at the World Cup finals. A moment of divine inspiration to keep his team in the game. It was a very laboured performance from Kasper Human's side. To said that his team need to up their tempo in this one against France. Well, based on the early evidence we've seen so far, they've most certainly done that. 17.5 minutes played. France 0, Denmark 0, and it's the Danes in possession on the halfway. They forward in towards the path of Eriksson. On the line now to Victor Nelson. Now to Kasper Schmeichel in the Denmark goal. Shifted out to the right-hand side. It is Christensen who brings it forward. Cleared away by France, who now look to shift it forward with Griezmann inside his own half, in towards the path of Jules Koundé. Rafael Varane played out towards Theo Hernandez. Beyond the half, and Mbappe one touch now in towards the path of Hernandez, who's got Giroud moving forward, but as he tried to fed the ball through to him, it was cleared away by Denmark, who have the ball now with Christian Eriksen. The ball out on the left-hand side, now moved into the centre in the middle of their own half as Denmark move forward and up the pitch. Højbjerg, that defensive line, and in towards the path of Victor Nelson on this left-hand flank. Put out towards Myler. Nelson again. Not shifting every man back as Denmark advance beyond the halfway. Played out in towards the path of Myler. It's a good challenge there by Ousmane Dembele, which sees the ball go out for a Denmark throw. It's going to be Myler to take. Short on this left-hand side in towards the path of Damsgaard. Ball goes into the penalty area. Myler. Damsgaard couldn't quite get his footing together, and France managed to clear their lines. Griezmann now looking to break for the reigning world champions. And through goes Kylian Mbappe, who's then hauled to the deck. Olivier Giroud is pleading that Andreas Christensen was last man as he hauled Mbappe to the deck. France in a very promising position. Christian, the first player into the book. France looked as if they were away on the counter-attack. Griezmann with a fantastic ball through. Mbappe gets between the two defenders. I thought Christian then dangles a leg out from behind, hauls Mbappe down, pushes him down as well. France with a free kick, 10 yards inside the Danish half, down the centre. It'll be Antoine Griezmann to take. 20 minutes played. France 0, Denmark 0. As on looking is Peter Schmeichel, dad of Kasper, European champion with Denmark back in 1992. Griezmann with the free kick, played out towards the right hand side towards Dembele, edge of the penalty area. Cross goes in, flicked in, big save from Kasper Schmeichel. It was Rabiot who made first contact at the near post. And then Schmeichel dives to his right, big right hand to parry it away and to stop France on taking the lead. Mbappe on the left hand side. Tchouameni in the middle of the park for France. Made along the line in towards the path of Rafael Varane, and now Meccano. Talked about France's goal scoring threat. They've actually scored 4 in each of their last 2 games in the competition. 4 in their opener against Australia, and then of course scored 4 in the final against Croatia. They're looking for their first here. Mbappe switching play out, looking to find Dembele, but headed away by the Danes. And Antoine Griezmann now, but Rabiot concedes a free kick for the reigning world champions. It was Griezmann's free kick that went in towards the path of Dembele, whips the ball in left-footed. Rabiot with first contact, and Schmeichel diving towards his right-hand side, towards the far right-hand corner. Parries it away. Parries it away from danger enough with Olivier Giroud on working. France 0, Denmark 0 then here. Stadium 947. Game finally poised. Denmark came out the tracks well, but the last 5 minutes or so, France have seemed to come into their own, and Olivier Giroud brought down under the challenge of Andreas Cornelius just on the halfway, and he's going to get booked as a consequence of it. And Olivier Giroud may have come out of this challenge much worse off. Medical teams have been signalled to come on for him. initial challenge by Tchouameni on Højbjerg, and then second challenge from Cornelius on Giroud, where Giroud goes to ground, clutching his knee, receiving some treatment from the French physios. Reminder that coming up after this, we have Argentina up against Mexico. You can listen to live commentary of that one from 7 p.m. this evening. Jack Bishop will be with you for all of that. And then tomorrow we have 4 live games for you. It begins with Cameroon against Serbia at 10. Joshua Smith will be there for you. South Korea against Ghana with Doug Taxel-Webster. Japan, Costa Rica first up, Matthew Ponta, then Belgium, Morocco with Charlie Gordon. I'll be waiting for Croatia against Canada, and then Joshua Ebudonko will have Spain against Germany from 7 p.m. Olivier Giroud is still down. Olivier Giroud back up on his feet. Treatment received. Play gets back underway. 24 played. France still Denmark 0 here at Stadium 947. All in the path of Jules Koundé. Back to Hugo Lloris between the sticks of the French. There's the ball out beyond the halfway, one back by the Danes, and is headed back to Kasper Schmeichel, and the ball going from one end of the field to the other. Looking at possession so far, 46% possession each, with 8% in contest, which probably sums up this first half contest altogether, because Denmark came at the tracks flying. The first 10-15 minutes were theirs, whilst the last 10 has been very much French. Didier Deschamps knew the challenge that they were going to provide. He said they are underestimated as a team, as Myler tried to keep it in play from the ball in by Cornelius. The corner flag, ball goes out of play for a French free kick. Yeah, they said they're underestimated as a team. And Denmark beating France twice in 2022, winning both of their respective meetings in the Nations League over the summer and autumn. He said in his pre-match press conference that have to make sure that's not the case on Saturday, where they make it a hat-trick of victories, where it make question for France a little bit more difficult, although they still have it in their own hands. They take on Tunisia on Wednesday at the Al Rayyan Stadium. Denmark win the ball back midway inside the French half. It's Eriksen on the left-hand side. Have to move back inside their own territory, though. Now in the middle of the park, the ball in the possession of Joachim Andersen. Played it along the line in towards the path of Andreas Christensen. Now Andersen again. Down the centre. 10 yards inside the French half. Driving with the ball. Plays it out in towards the path of Højbjerg. But the referee, Szymon Marcinak from Poland, gets a touch of it, and so play has to stop. Officiating his first game of these World Cup finals, and was in charge of England's 0-0 draw up against Italy in the Nations League back in September. Denmark in possession then with Joachim Andersen, switching it out edge of the penalty area. Milo in possession, but headed out of play by Jules Koundé for a Danish throw. On the edge of the penalty area, it's going to be Milo to take. 26.5 gone. France 0, Denmark 0. France managing to clear it away with Raphael Varane, but one back by Victor Nelson, left-hand side, shifts it back about 15 yards in towards the path of Højbjerg, who gains possession again after a 1-2 with Christensen, who finds possession again, switching it out towards the right-hand side, edge of the box, ball flicked away by Theo Hernandez. It was Lindström trying to find the ball in towards the penalty area, and it's the Danes with a throw as we speak. Eriksen, right hand flank, they have possession. We're going to thread it through. Lindström with the cross into the penalty area, coming off of Theo Hernandez. So it's going to be another Denmark throw out on the right hand side towards the edge of the penalty area. Played short in towards the path of Christian Eriksen. Him up against Rabiot. Ball goes out of play. It goes out of play for a French goal kick. Rabiot managing to see off Eriksen in that particular duel. 28 gone. France 0, Denmark 0 here. The Flash Score Live audio commentary service. Rabiot, who actually was the scorer of the first goal for France against Australia on Tuesday. That was his third goal in 30 international caps. Ball flicked forward towards Olivier Giroud, who's looking to break the record of France's all-time record goal scorer today. Eriksen driving from the right-hand side in towards the middle, played out towards the right-hand flank and forward now in towards the path of Jesper Lindström. It's cleared away by Upamecano. It's going to be a Danish throw. 29 gone. France 0, Denmark 0. Thrown on the right-hand flank, edge of the penalty area. They're trying to make the challenge, but it's Lindström up against Theo Hernandez. Ball goes out of play, and again it's Lindström who loses out, this time to Hernandez, and it's going to be a French goal kick as we approach the half an hour mark here on the Flash Score Live audio commentary service. France, whose record against Denmark isn't too great. They haven't beaten them since 2015 when 2 goals from Olivier Giroud, who else I suppose, secured a 2-1 win against them in a friendly game. This is Mbappe inside the area, looking to move across towards the back stick. It's brought down by Koundé as an effort on goal. And after a little deflection, it falls into the arms of Kasper Schmeichel in the Denmark goal. And it's Kylian Mbappe who's beginning to turn the screw for France here. Cross goes in, left footed inside the area. Koundé with an effort which comes off of Højbjerg, who couldn't keep his footing together, but luckily for him, Kasper Schmeichel could comfortably hold between the sticks of the Danes. No one reacting to that second ball from a French perspective. This is Nelson, played on the line. 31 minutes on the clock. France 0, Denmark 0 here on the Flash Score Live audio commentary service. Olivier Giroud as the French look to break out to Ousmane Dembele on the right-hand side. 5 yards inside the Denmark half, but the ball from Giroud over to Dembele was too heavy for him to chase, and so the ball goes out for a Denmark throw. They find themselves in possession out on the right-hand side, just beyond the halfway. Victor Nelson, left-hand side, just beyond the half. Crossfield ball out towards the right, chested down first time, and then played in towards the path of Lindström. Up against Upamecano, and the ball goes out of play for yet another French goal kick. The Danes felt it was a means to a corner, the last touch coming off of the Frenchman, and I think they have a case. But Reece will take this goal kick for France. Didier Deschamps just giving out some instructions on the French touchline, as is Kasper Hjulmand for Denmark, who doesn't look too pleased with the past few minutes for his side. Giroud with the flick on in towards the path of Dembele on the right, about 20 yards inside the Denmark half. It's Koundé now who plays it back in towards the path of Raphael Varane. France with 5 attempts at goal, 1 on target in the opening 32 and a half minutes of this one. Griezmann out on the left-hand flank, plays it forward in towards the path of Mbappe, who now looks to run, flicks it back in towards the path of Griezmann, but is dispossessed in the process. Denmark with the ball on the right-hand side, one back though by Shoumeni, now Griezmann for France. Giroud, Griezmann inside the penalty area. He needs to do it alone. There's no company, but his effort spilled away. Back in the box it goes. Shoumeni with the effort, flicked on, brought down. Dembele. That one taking a deflection as well. But can he find the cross into the penalty area from the right-hand flank? On the edge of the box he finds himself. Jules Koundé, Shoumeni. Varane. Meccano. France with the ball midway inside the Danish half on the right-hand side. Koundé, Dembele. Underlapping ball towards Koundé. Right-hand side. Cross goes in towards the back post. They're headed away by Denmark. But back inside their penalty area it goes. It's on back by Rabiot. He has a stab at goal. And that time it was Christian Eriksen who managed to get the block for Denmark. Now France really are showing all of their force. 10 minutes to go until the break. 0-0. Griezmann. Left hand side again, in towards the path of Theo Hernandez. Griezmann, cross goes in towards the edge of the penalty area where Giroud is not going to bring it down. France with a free kick after Andreas Cornelius. Got Shoumeni to the ground. So we have a look at the chance Griezmann had. It was a tight, acute angle. Schmeichel managing to get a foot to it to clear it away. He had no company alongside him in the penalty area, so he had to go alone from that uncomfortable angle, did Antoine Griezmann. He's having a couple of words with Meccano. Denmark with more defending to do. It's been the story of the last quarter of an hour from their perspective. Griezmann's free kick, whipped in left-footed, looking to find Giroud in and around the penalty area, but it's cleared away by Denmark. But France look to come again with Jules Koundé, Shoumeni along the line to Griezmann, shifted out towards the path of Kylian Mbappe, but dispossessed, and now Denmark look to break and they move forward. It's 3v4, ball in towards the edge of the penalty area. It's Cornelius, he's an up goal! Strikes it right-footed, but it hits the side netting. Closest either side had come to scoring so far, and it was Denmark on the break. And Cornelius doing ever so well to win it first, then shifts it out towards the right-hand side. Then the ball comes back in towards his possession, in towards the penalty area. No one could track back quick enough. Shoumeni was the one who was looking to try and block the effort, but his effort struck right-footed. Hits the side netting. It looks as if Lloris would have had it all ends up if the effort was on target, but despite the French dominance, Denmark finding joy on the counter there. Theo Hernandez played out towards the left-hand side. Mbappe, Hernandez. Back to Kylian Mbappe again. Shoumeni. Giroud. Koundé, right flank, out to the path of Dembele, who moves it inside. Plays the dummy, and now looking to play the ball into the penalty. It does. Left-footed. Along the penalty area. In towards Giroud! First effort on goal for him, headed wide of target from the right-hand side. Mbappe with a delicious ball into his path, but the man who's looking to go outright French all-time top goal scorer has had his first opportunity go wide of target. He's the one who rose higher than Nelson inside the penalty area, but he couldn't steer his header on target. And Kasper Schmeichel having a few words with him afterwards, all in good nature, it should be said. So 37 minutes played, France 0, Denmark 0 here on the Flash Score Live audio commentary service. Nelson played along the line in towards the path of Christensen, who breaks beyond the halfway, switches the ball out towards the left-hand side, where Myler has it on the edge of the penalty area, but that battle between him and Dembele, which has been a good one so far in that part of the pitch, is won by the Frenchman again. Denmark then in possession, 37.5 gone. France 0, Denmark 0 here at Stadium 947. The Danes with the ball, right-hand side. edge of the penalty area. Theo Hernandez gets nutmegged. The ball goes in and around the penalty area. The cross goes in. Looking to find Andreas Cornelius by Rasmus Christiansen. But he couldn't find anyone. But he did find one of the silkier bits of skill you're going to find in this World Cup. Nutmegging Theo Hernandez on the edge of the penalty area. But the end result from that whole attack is a French throw. Denmark in possession again, but Griezmann retains it for France. Shifted out then to the left-hand side where they look to drive forward. It's Hernandez who's brought to ground. Referee says no foul. And so Denmark now look to move forward on the counter, but Griezmann wins it back for the French. Brings it down, does well to keep it in play. Going to find that cross in with his left foot towards Giroud inside the penalty area, who could bring the ball down with his left foot inside the penalty area. France are huffing and puffing as we have another look at this where Theo Hernandez goes down under not a lot of contact, it has to be said. Varane, Semenit goes down under the challenge of Højbjerg, but no foul in the eyes of the referee. So France in possession on the halfway, moved out towards the right hand side. Ousmane Dembele, edge of the penalty area, needs support inside there, plays it across in towards the path of Kylian Mbappe, whose effort flies over the bar. It was an excellent ball forward towards Dembele. Looks as if he may have just been offside, but then needed support in the penalty area. Mbappe finds himself pretty much in line with the penalty spot. The ball goes into his path, but he blazes it over the bar. Man whose spot kick actually eliminated France from Euro 2020. His against Switzerland. Reigning Nations League champions as well as world champions of France. In that tournament with a victory over Spain last year. So Hugo Lloris, a free kick then for France. 41 minutes on the clock here at the Stadium 947. It's France 0, Denmark 0, but France knocking ever closer on the door. Denmark have had their odd opportunities, but it has been France that have looked the more likely to score in this one. And it is Mbappe who has possession on the left-hand side towards the halfway, but he couldn't keep it in play, and so Denmark win a throw. So 41.5 minutes play. France 0, Denmark 0 here. The Stadium 947. Ball played across and towards the path of Victor Nelson. On the left-hand side, advancing just beyond halfway. Crossfield ball out towards the right. Brought down by Christiansen. Forward towards the path of Lindström and cleared away by France. And it's Kylian Mbappe. It's Antoine Griezmann in the middle, looking to play in Kylian Mbappe, but decides to move it across in towards the path of Khomeini. This is Jules Koundé. Dembele, Koundé, cleared away by the Danes, who look to move it forward with Mæhle, but in the meantime, there's Koundé. Finds himself in the book for a challenge as Denmark look to move their way forward. The aftermath to that challenge on Victor Nelson, who finds himself on the floor. So he's going to receive treatment, which gives us the opportunity just to tell you about what's coming up on the Flash Score Live audio commentary service, because we have a number of games for each other. All 4 matches will be live. It begins with Japan against Costa Rica from 10. And then we're going to see Belgium, who didn't look convincing in their victory against Canada on Wednesday night. They take on Morocco from 1. And then Croatia take on Canada from 4 p.m. And then the main attraction from 7 o'clock is Spain up against Germany. And all 4 games will be live for you on the Flash Score Live audio commentary service. And if your team is taking part in the FA Cup, then you can follow all those games live. Do keep your notifications on for every single time there's a goal or key incident. 13 live games taking place as things stand. The early kick-off saw Stevenage get the better of Kingsley Town by 3-0, and there's a whole plethora of matches from that competition you can tune into live with us, including the late kick-off between Dagenham and Redbridge and Gillingham. Remember, after this, Argentina against Mexico, and live commentary of that comes from 7 o'clock here on Flash Score. We'll be bringing you every single game live as we get back underway. 1 minute to go until half time, and we know there won't be 1 minute till the whistle is blown, because if there's been one theme towards this World Cup so far, it has been the sheer amount of added time in matches. 24 in that England game against Iran on Monday afternoon. Eriksson in possession for Denmark on the halfway, 44.5 minutes played, so 30 seconds more before the stoppage time ball goes up, and he decides to have a pop shot from distance, somewhere around about 35 yards out on his right foot, which far from troubles Hugo Lloris, sailing wide of his goal to the right. French fans have travelled to Qatar in numbers. I wonder what they'll make of this performance so far. 3 minutes added on at the end of the first half. Many of them going to see whether Olivier Giroud can break Thierry Henry's record today. He wasn't a hat-trick in that game against Australia, which would have been some way to have done it if he wasn't substituted in the final stages of that. 3 minutes added on at the end of the first half. We've played the first 30 seconds of that. Griezmann plays the ball out towards the path of Hernandez, left-hand side. He's got Mbappe for company if he wants to find him. Mbappe then looking to run the ball in towards the penalty. Back to Semenit now. Rabiot. Griezmann. Rabiot. Flicked out in towards the path of Mbappe. Chests it down first time. Whips the ball in. Right-footed, looking to find Olivier Giroud on the penalty spot, but his cross is too heavy. It goes out of play. It's going to be a Denmark goal kick. So one of those 3 minutes has been played. France 0, Denmark 0. France will be happy with the fact that they're creating opportunities. Perhaps won't be too impressed with the execution of them. As Kasper Schmeichel takes the goal kick for Denmark. Lost it forward beyond the halfway down the middle. It's won by Upamecano. Now Rabiot, but Denmark managed to contest the loose ball and win it back. Haller. Nelson. Milo again. Out towards his path on the left-hand side, but it does go out of play. It'll be a French throw. It's going to be taken by Jules Koundé. Who started that nation's final victory over Spain in 2021. Joined Barcelona from Sevilla in the summer for undisclosed fee. Griezmann shifts it out towards the path of Hernandez, left-hand side, just beyond the halfway. Now Mbappe, deep inside Denmark territory, shifts it inside as an effort on goal, which comes straight off Giroud's head, but the other way. And basically doing the Danish defensive job for them. 20 seconds of stoppage time to go. France looking to try and muster something before the break. The ball goes out of play. for Denmark throw. The final opportunity of the first half. Mbappe does well, the move inside. They're ball in towards the penalty intended for Giroud, but he couldn't steer his header goal bound. And that will be the final action of the opening period, where France have huffed and puffed, but they've not found a way of breaking down the Danish defence so far. Kylian Mbappe with a couple of opportunities, but at the break the reigning world champions are being pegged level against Denmark. A point now. Denmark 0, France 0. This is an unofficial commentary of the FIFA World Cup. It comes from Group D as France get us underway for the second half against Denmark, level at 0-0 in this Group D encounter. Remind you, your two starting 11s for this one. Hugo Lloris in goal for France. They line up in a 4-3-3 with Varane, Koundé, Upamenko and Hernandez. Griezmann, Tchouaméni and Rabiot in midfield, and it is Giroud, Mbappe and Dembele up top. For Denmark, who line up in a 3-4-3 formation, it's Schmeichel in goal, a back three of Andersen, Nelson and Christensen. It is Mæhle, Eriksen, Christensen and Højbjerg in midfield, and Damsgaard, Cornelius and Lindstrøm are the three up top. Denmark looking to start this second half brightly. We played roughly a minute of it. It's France 0, Denmark 0, and it's France on the attack. Out on the right hand side is Dembele, play out towards Mbappe on the left, looking to tee it up over the top in towards the path of Rabiot, but it's cleared away by Denmark as he tried to bring down the lob over the top by Mbappe. He's looking for his second goal of the tournament. It'll be his fourth for his country. 31 caps. Right, start to the second half. It was the Danes who began the first half the brighter, before France then coming into it after around about 20-25 minutes, and then the final parts of the first half they were on top, created a number of opportunities, but they couldn't find the back of the net. They couldn't really find that killer final pass in all truth, as Griezmann's brought down by Eriksen just beyond the halfway in the centre. France have a free kick taken short in towards the path of Mbappe. It's shifted out to the left hand side in towards the path of Theo Hernandez. Ball goes out, last touch coming off of Lindstrøm for Denmark, and so it goes out for a throw into France, who with a point in this game would progress their way into the last 16 of the competition, the reigning world champions, which is something that the last couple have been unable to do. Rabiot will play along the line towards Theo Hernandez, but it's dispossessed by Højbjerg. Forward it goes, looking to find Lindstrøm, but it goes back to Lloris in the French goal, well controlled by the French defence, but it is one back by Højbjerg on the right, just beyond the halfway. Eriksen, first time, played back in towards the path of Martin Braithwaite, who has come on for Denmark at the break. Cross goes in towards the penalty area, but it goes out of play. And it is going to be a goal kick to France. Martin Braithwaite coming on at half time. Facing Andreas Cornelius. So Lloris with the kick forward to find Olivier Giroud, but it only finds its way out of play, and it's going to be a Denmark throw out on this far side. 3.5 minutes of the second period played. It's France 0, Denmark 0 here. Set in 947 in Group D at the FIFA World Cup. Reminder that after this we'll have live commentary of Argentina up against Mexico. Big game for Lionel Messi's side, as their hopes of qualification could hang by a thread if they lose. Well, Denmark on the attack here, moving through in the middle in towards the path of Eriksen. Lindstrøm looking to thread it through into him, but France managed to clear the ball away, but Denmark retain it back, edge of the penalty they have on the right hand side. Christensen looking to get the cross in, it comes off of Theo Hernandez, and it's going to be a Denmark throw. Making quickly, ball inside the box. Eriksen looking to get the better of two, but Rabiot gets it away for France. Griezmann, first time out to Kylian Mbappe on the left, who advances beyond halfway and now drives at the heart of the Denmark defence. Edge of the penalty area, he's up against Andreas Christensen. Jacob Andersen also watching him. Cross goes in towards the area, towards Dembele, in towards Mbappe. But Kasper Schmeichel in the Denmark goal gets there first. It's the first time there, almost the first time there, that France would have broken down the Danish defence as a whole. Because only had to make a couple of saves. He did make a big one in the first half. Other than that, nothing too major to report from a French attacking perspective. They've created opportunities, but it's been the end product that's been the issue thus far. 5 minutes into the second period, France 0, Denmark 0. And it's Braithwaite on the right-hand side. Is the Peltier. He's got two up against him. Rabiot being the ball out of play for Corny, who was racing his way back to see if he can actually keep it in play. He couldn't. So Denmark with a corner out on this near side as we look at it. Another look at the opportunity. Mbappe did stray offside as Bele lofted a ball over the top in towards his path, but Denmark, this current moment in time, with their first corner of the game, 6 minutes into this second period, it's going to be Eriksen to take, right-footed in-swinger from the right hand channel as they attack in this second half. Corner floated in towards the back post, headed back on, but held by Hugo Lloris between the sticks for France. Amongst a sea of Danish shirts was the one who managed to clamour towards the ball. We'll start the French attack from the back. It's Hernandez towards Mbappe, left-hand side, still inside its own half, has to play it back in towards the path of Hernandez. On the line towards Shumeni. Dembele looking to play it forward, but Denmark shift France back a few yards. This is Hemenko. Got Hernandez out to the left, which is who he finds 5 yards inside the Denmark half. And it goes back in deep inside French territory. Hemenko just played it back to Lloris between the sticks for France. 52 minutes gone. France 0, Denmark 0 here on the Flash Score Live audio commentary service, where you can listen to Argentina-Mexico tonight, plus all 4 matches from tomorrow's group stage action. Antoine Griezmann caught offside. The ball went over the top on the right-hand channel in towards his path, and wasn't even a close one. He was a good 5 yards off. Didier Deschamps in his seat, probably pondering over what he's seen from his side so far. It's not been about the chances created that's been an issue, it's been converting them. Well, here's Denmark in possession. Koundé managing to step out and clear it, and French have the ball on the right hand side towards the halfway. Threaded through, it draws a path from Mbappe. He was clearing away, but Kasper Schmeichel comes out, reads the situation, and hacks the ball away for Denmark. Rio Hernandez. Short in towards the path of Upamecano. Griezmann on the halfway, loses out, and now Braithwaite looking to move forward for Denmark, but he has to play it back first time. He thought that the counter was on for a second, but he couldn't quite get the ball threaded through to him as he would have liked it to, and so he had to play it back, and now goes all the way back to Kasper Schmeichel in the Denmark goal. Højbjerg played out towards the right hand channel, and Christensen on the halfway. Back to Joachim Andersen. Eriksen shifted out to his right, in towards the path of Damsgaard, inside the penalty area towards Braithwaite. Ball goes out of play. Hernandez with the final touch as Braithwaite was looking to set himself inside the penalty area. It's another Denmark corner, and since coming on at half time, Braithwaite is being quite lively for the Danes. 54.5 minutes gone. Almost 10 minutes of this second half play. Denmark, their second corner of the match, looking to break the deadlock. It's going to be Christian Eriksen, right-footed in-swinger for Denmark. Played in towards the back post, but flicked away by Rabiot. Hooked back in again. In towards the path of Braithwaite. There's a slip, but cleared away by France. Flag went up for offside against Martin Braithwaite in any instance. Corner goes in, it's headed away first time. Then it's hacked back in towards the penalty, in towards the path of Brathwaite, who brings it down of his first touch, but was a couple of yards offside as the ball was played in towards the penalty area. So 10 minutes into the second half, France 0, Denmark 0. The Danes in possession inside their own half. It's Højbjerg who plays it out in towards inside the area. It goes again, and it's Damsgaard who played the ball in towards the penalty and cleared away. Now it goes out towards Højbjerg. Christensen loses out. Rabiot. Mbappe turns beyond the half, gets the better of Anderson. Mbappe in the middle, inside the area now, goes for goal! Parried over the bar by Kasper Schmeichel. And France are edging closer. First shot on target for Kylian Mbappe in this match, and he just turns past Anderson on halfway, and then once he's done that, he's clearing away and he's through, driving right at the heart of the Denmark defence, and then once inside the penalty area, sets himself on his left foot for goal. And Schmeichel has to parry it out for a corner. Could this be the moment for Olivier Giroud? It's going to be Griezmann to take, left-footed in-swinger from the left-hand side towards the near post, headed away before finding Khomeini. Didier Deschamps not happy that it's been able to go past the first man. So France are a throw-in, 10 yards inside the Denmark half on the left-hand side. 57 minutes played here at Stadium 947. It is France 0, Denmark 0 in Group D here at the FIFA World Cup. A draw which will be good enough for the reigning champions to progress their way through to the knockout stages of the tournament. And it's they who have the ball on the right-hand side, just beyond the halfway, and it's in the grasp of Khomeini. Plays it along the line to Umachenko. Now Theo Hernandez. Khomeini brought to Grau. Christensen giving away a free kick following a foul on Theo Hernandez just before the ball was threaded in towards the path of Khomeini. Varane. France of the ball now beyond the halfway. Ousmane Dembele back to Griezmann. Varane. In the centre, in the middle of the park. Plays the ball forward towards Giroud. First time pass back to Khomeini, who's looking to drive France up the field. Plays it towards Giroud. Turns with his first touch before Jane sees France move the ball back a few yards. But now towards Hernandez. Rabiot. The clock yet to be broken. Will it be broken here? Khomeini switches it out to Dembele on the right-hand side. He's got Damsgaard for company, but it gets the better of him. Now looking to find the ball in towards Mbappe. Turns first time in towards the penalty area, but Denmark managed to clear their lines. And they're beginning to live a bit of a charmed life now, the Danes. Mbappe with every bit of skill trying to get between the two defenders, and Højbjerg managing to cling hold of the ball to stop him in his path. Khomeini, first time ball forward towards Griezmann, brings it down, effort on goal, but blazes over the bar. The first time he's managed to get himself one-on-one with Kasper Schmeichel, but he couldn't get himself set. It's an excellent ball from Khomeini. Griezmann chests it down first time, getting the better. The two Danish defenders. He gets past Nelson. And as he tried to siphon it past Kasper Schmeichel in the Denmark goal, he couldn't keep his effort down. Hour gone, still 0-0. And it's Denmark now on the attack with Lindstrøm. Plays it out towards the left-hand side, but it's won back by Koundé before Myler could get there inside the penalty area. France clear their lines towards the halfway. France with 14 efforts on goal, 3 on target. Denmark just the 2. We're going to make it a third and try and convert and get The opener of the game, but Griezmann does well to win it back for France. Hour gone, 0-0. Eriksson. Now France look to move again. Theo Hernandez on the left-hand side, moving beyond the halfway. Kylian Mbappe, left-hand flank, towards the edge of the penalty area. Inside it goes, in towards the path of Hernandez. Straight across to Mbappe! Who breaks the deadlock for France? Since the beginning of the second half, they have been the better side. They have been more creative, and they get the goal that their play has craved. And who else but the man who fills this World Cup is his centre stage, Kylian Mbappe. It's his 30th goal for his country. It is a crucial goal for his country. And France may be set now for a place in the last 16. It's an excellent ball from Hernandez into Mbappe, and then he sets him again, and all Mbappe needed was one touch inside the area to get it past Kasper Schmeichel in the Denmark goal. On his right foot, wasn't the cleanest of strikes. Takes a little bit of a deflection off of Andreas Christensen en route. But Kylian Mbappe gives France the lead. And in a plot twist here, where on a day where Giroud could have become France's all-time top goal scorer, he is going to be the first man to be substituted for France. And he is going to be replaced by Marcus Thuram. Plays for Borussia Mönchengladbach in the Bundesliga. His dad Lilian was a former French international. Kylian Mbappe breaks the deadlock for France. They need them up by a goal to nil after 62 and a half minutes here. Now the question is, how can Denmark respond? They have the ball out on the left-hand side of their attack, but it's a loose pass which sees it go out of play. So France with a throw-in out on the right-hand side as they move forward. First throw-in is headed out by those defenders, so Koundé will get a second go at it. It's played across towards Theo Hernandez. Mbappe turns towards the centre. Win here put France onto 6 points in the group. Keep Denmark on 1. They take on Australia in their final group game. That could potentially be a shootout match, with France taking on Tunisia in their final group stage match. 63 and a half gone. France 1, Denmark 0. Denmark could have drawn each of their last 4 games at the tournament finals, and France could equal Spain's record of 6 victories in a row in this competition, which they set back in 2010 when they went on to win the tournament. They'd have the chance to break the outright record, move on to 7 in that game against Tunisia on match day 3 of the group. And they could be on for a second hit, because the substitute Thuram was through, but he couldn't find a way. So 64 and a half gone. France 1, Denmark 0. Denmark now looking to thread one forward, but the ball goes out of play for a French goal kick. We're having another look at the French goal. Excellent play from Hernandez and Mbappe, linking and combining, and then Mbappe, as I say, not the cleanest of strikes, but managed to find a way into the back of the net. So 25 minutes then for France to hang on to this lead, which would cement their place in the round of 16 and would cement pretty much their place as the winners of Group D. Even with defeat against Tunisia, the margin of victory against Australia should mean that they'd be good enough to go through, but you never know. And you never know whether the results are guaranteed in this one, because the ball's teed into the penalty area. France can't clear their lines. They managed to hack it clear in the end. It was a dangerous ball in from Jesper Lindstrøm, which France couldn't deal with, and Denmark are still on the attack here. 66 gone, France 1, Denmark 0. Joachim Andersen played along the line towards his left. Victor Nelson he finds, Andersen again, stretching it out, left hand side, edge of the penalty area. It's Milo in possession for the Danes, up against Koundé. Ball switched out in towards the path for Christensen, inside the area, Lindstrøm towards the back post where Braithwaite was lurking. It goes back in again. It does go back in again, but the ball goes out of play. Menko with the final touch, so it actually does go out for a Denmark corner. It went out of play before they tried to put the second ball in towards the penalty area of Denmark. So 67 gone, France 1, Denmark 0. The Danes looking for a leveller. It's going to be Eriksson to take, right-footed in-swinger towards the penalty spot. It is swung in towards the penalty spot and headed into the back of the net, and Denmark find themselves level for Andreas Christensen, who was the most alert at the back post to get his side back level, to put his side back on terms. And Hugo Lloris incandescent with rage in the French goal. And in his 60th cap for Denmark, Andreas Christensen comes up with his third goal, and perhaps his most crucial for his country. The ball's floated in. Christensen's virtually left unmarked. It's dinked down by Andersen in towards Christensen. Rabiot isn't alert enough to it, and he manages to glance it past Hugo Lloris in the French goal. And with 22 minutes to go, Denmark find themselves back level. And Andreas Christensen with his third goal for his country. His second at a major tournament final, scored an absolute screamer against Russia at Euro 2020 in Copenhagen, which helped them get out of the group on that occasion. He may be doing something quite similar here. And who joined Barcelona from Chelsea in the summer. And now we're going to see how the French respond to this setback. They did go 1-0 down in their game against Australia on Tuesday evening. They managed to find a way to come back from behind. Can they come back from the setback of being pegged back level? They had the ball inside the Denmark penalty here before being cleared away by Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. It's going to be Koundé to take this throw in for France. 5 yards inside the Denmark half on the right hand side, but the ball is played all the way back to Hugo Lloris between the sticks for France. Shimani. That in towards the penalty area, in towards the path of Foram. Up against Andersen. Ball goes out of play for a French throw. 20 minutes to go. France 1, Denmark 1. Mbappe to take on the left hand side. Rebio is not going to find a path back to him, but they might win the ball back, and they manage to find a path back to Kasper Schmeichel in the Denmark goal. 20 minutes to go. France 1, Denmark 1 here on the Flash Score Live audio commentary service. Reminder, after this we'll have live commentary of Argentina up against Mexico. Live coverage of that one coming from 7 o'clock this evening here on the Flash Score Live audio commentary service. And then tomorrow we will have 4 live matches for you, beginning with Japan up against Costa Rica from 10, Belgium, Morocco, Croatia, Canada, and Spain against Germany. France in possession now. Khomeini plays it out towards Mbappe, edge of the penalty area, up against Joachim Andersen. Cross goes in towards the back post where Marcus Thuram was lurking and waiting. There's a comfortable take for Kasper Schmeichel in the Denmark goal. 19 minutes to play. France 1, Denmark 1. Stadium 947. On top of it being the dialing code for Doha in Qatar, it's actually made of 947 shipping containers. First ever temporary stadium to be built for FIFA World Cup finals. Denmark then in possession out on this left hand side, edge of the penalty area. It's Myler in possession, played back into towards the path of Eriksson. Now Højbjerg. Joachim Andersen played out towards Christensen on the right, 10 yards inside the French half. And Denmark, who, following the French goal, rode out the storm and then found their own response. Højbjerg just beyond the halfway for France, played out in towards the path of Christian Eriksen. Played out towards his left and to Myler. Now Damsgaard in towards the area. Big save from Lloris and cleared away by Theo Hernandez. Huge opportunity for Denmark. Huge opportunity for Jesper Lindstrøm. First touch, right-footed, side-foots it, but it is straight at Lloris in the French goal. And talking about Brentford connections, Mikkel Damsgaard's coming off, and he's going to be replaced by Kasper Dolberg for this corner for Denmark with 17 minutes to go. Eriksen waves his hand up. It's going to be a right-footed in-swinger towards the back stick. They scored from their last corner. They're not going to get one directly from it this time, but they still have a second bite of the cherry. Eriksen brings it inside, 25 yards from goal. He may think of going alone here. He does. Takes the deflection off of Khomeini. Wins it back, and it goes back in towards the path of Højbjerg. Shifted out now, and the ball in the possession of Christensen on this right-hand side. He's got Griezmann for company. Ball goes out of play, and it's going to be a French throw. 73.5 gone. France 1, Denmark 1, and we got quite the grandstand finish here at Stadium 947. France to make another couple of changes of their own. It's going to be Ibrahima Konate and Kingsley Coman to come on, and they're going to replace Raphael Varane, whose name's been brought up on the board and taking the acclaim and the applause of the French fans who've made the trip over to Qatar. And it is going to be Ousmane Dembele who's going to be the other French player to come off. So France rolling the dice. They're going to find a winner in the 15 or so minutes that remain. As they have a throw, and it is a first touch of the game for Liverpool's Ibrahima Konate, who's been compared to his Liverpool teammate Virgil van Dijk due to his positional play, pace and strength. Being brought on by Didier Deschamps, knowing that Denmark are providing more of a threat going forward. This has a similar feel of the Germany against Japan game, in the fact that Germany went 1-0 up. They looked so comfortable, but they couldn't kill the game off, and then Japan came back at them and took advantage of their opportunities. It could be a similar tale here today in a battle of the World Cup winners and the European Championship semi-finals from last summer. Griezmann. Forearm. Edge of the Peltier, plays it out towards Mbappe. Mbappe inside the box. Last touch there coming off of Christensen, who manages to stop the PSG man in his path, and it goes out of play for a France corner with just under a quarter of an hour remaining. France's third corner of the match. And they provide their second goal. Griezmann to take, left-footed from the left-hand channel. Swung in towards the penalty area, flicked away before finding Rabiot. Kingsley Coman shifts it out towards the right-hand side where Kylian Mbappe finds himself now. Cross goes in towards the penalty area. Played back inside the French half, along the line towards Kunate. Played out towards Griezmann on the left, 10 yards inside the Danish half. Shimani along the line now in towards Upamenko. Rabiot. Out towards Koundé. Now Kingsley Coman, right hand side. He's got both Nelson and Myler for company, but he manages to see the ball out of play for a French throw. Rabiot inside the air, looking to play it across the penalty area, looking to find either Thuram or Mbappe, but ball goes out of play for a French corner. France seriously knocking at the door now. Mbappe looking to play it across on his left foot, looking to find Thuram at the near post, but hit away and out of play for a French corner, which is going to be taken by Antoine Griezmann with 12 and a half minutes to go. France 1, Denmark 1. And it's a left-footed in-swinger from the right-hand side towards the back deck, and it's just wide. Huge chance for France. And it was Shimani with the header who broke free of Lindstrom at the back stick. It actually takes a bit of a deflection off of Myler, so it's going to be another French corner. Comes off his shoulder. Another huge opportunity for France. Griezmann to take this one. This time on the left-hand flank. Corner goes in towards the back stick. No one could get to it, so Coman picks up on the edge of the area for France. Looks to put a second ball in. Flicked on by Jules Koundé, but he couldn't quite steer it goal bound. Couldn't quite get a clean connection to it altogether. But the last touch does come off a Danish defender again, so Griezmann to take another corner. Seems to be shifting sides on 1-2 cover. This time right hand flank. It's still going to be left footed, it's still going to be swung in. France are pushing and probing for their second. Ball goes in, punched away by Schmeichel. Mbappe, edge of the penalty area, brought in again by Hernandez, and then it was Rabiot with the audacious bicycle kick, and it would have been one of the goals of the tournament if he could have found the target from there. Schmeichel was beating all ends up. It would have been on a par with the strike we saw from Richarlison the other night. And Denmark will breathe a sigh of relief. Is they in possession? They're looking to break inside French territory for the first time in what feels like quite a while. throw-in just on the halfway. On the right-hand side, 10 minutes to go. France 1, Denmark 1 here at Stadium 947. Crossing towards the penalty area. And it was a brilliant ball from Dolberg in towards the path of Martin Braithwaite. But he just couldn't quite keep it on target, just wide. Strains the side netting. If it would have beaten Lloris or not, I don't quite know. But just as we thought, France were working their way back in front. Denmark nearly catch him out at the other end. 9 minutes to go. France 1, Denmark 1. There's a lot of nerves inside Stadium 947. The fingernails are being bitten to the court. It's going to be France with a free kick with Semenit down on the deck. He was from his own teammate Adrien Rabiot. One of those innocuous ones. It's usually the innocuous ones which the ones that are the most painful. I think it was a bit of wind by making contact with a certain body part. A reminder then after this, Argentina up against Mexico from 7 PM this evening here on the Flash Score live audio commentary service. Huge game for Lionel Messi's side. And then tomorrow all 4 games are live with us. We have coverage of Japan against Costa Rica, then Belgium up against Morocco, Croatia against Canada, and Spain take on Germany from 7 PM tomorrow evening here on the Flash Score live audio commentary service. Denmark in possession just beyond the halfway, out on the right hand side. The ball in the possession of Christian Eriksen. 7 minutes to go. France 1, Denmark 1 here on the Flash Score live audio commentary service. It's Christensen. Played it forward in towards the path of Lindstrom, but he couldn't manage to do anything there. He was in a bit of a battle. Nice little back heel first off, but up against Upamenko. And the French defender managed to see it out of play. So 7.5 minutes to go, or 6.5 minutes to go. France 1, Denmark 1 here in Group D at the FIFA World Cup. France who took the lead courtesy of Kylian Mbappe's strike midway through the second period, before then being pegged back by Andreas Christensen. And now the Danes are on the attack again. Right hand side, cross goes in by Christensen. Eriksen, edge of the penalty area. Everton goal from distance, which flies wide of Hugo Lloris's goal by Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. So substitution for Denmark is going to be Jesper Lindstrom to come off. He's going to be replaced by Christian Norgard of Brentford. He won 3 tournaments for Denmark's youth side, and his next appearance for his club will be his 100th. Very much a legend in that part of London. Theo Hernandez for France, left hand side, 5 to go. France 1, Denmark 1 here on the Flash Score live audio commentary service. Group D action from the FIFA World Cup. Koundé, right hand side, chips a ball over the top in towards the penalty area, in towards the path of Kingsley Coman. Griezmann, ball goes in towards the back post. It's Mbappe again. Of course it was going to be him. It's always him, the star man of the World Cup, putting in a star man performance, and he puts his country in front again at 2-1. Kylian Mbappe with a goal that probably sends France through to the knockout stages. It's his 14th in his last 12. And with 4 minutes to go, France edge in front again. And again the pressure has told. It's an excellent ball in from Griezmann. Mbappe strays level with onside. Ties his run to perfection. Gets the better of Christensen. And then all he needs is one touch off the fight to get it past Kasper Schmeichel in the Denmark goal. And with 3.5 minutes left to play, France lead 2-1. Denmark once again are going to have to try and find a way of clawing their way back from behind. They got 3 minutes plus stoppage time to do so. Christensen, cross goes in towards a penalty area, takes a deflection en route by Rabiot, and it's a comfortable take for Hugo Lloris in the France goal. He recycles it out in towards the path of Theo Hernandez. Rabiot, one back by Denmark, who move forward out on this right hand side. Christensen halfway inside the French half. Ball goes out of play for Denmark, throw down that flank. It's a case of battening down the hatches for France now. Højbjerg switching sides from right to left. Meyer now for Denmark. Eriksen, Christensen. Christian Eriksen. Højbjerg. Christensen. And again, the Denmark number 13. Anderson, ball lofted into the penalty area, but cleared away by Kingsley Coman. And now France look to break out on this right-hand side. Griezmann. Denmark managed to bring bodies back. Shifted from the right-hand side to the left on the edge of the Denmark half. Mbappe moving his way forward. France ready to bring Youssouf Fofana off the bench. Mbappe plays it back inside his own half. There's no need for urgency now for France, leading 2-1 with a minute plus stoppage time to play. Hernandez. Upamenko. Played out towards the path of Koundé. Konate. Upamenko played along the line out to the left-hand side, and Hernandez. It goes back to Hugo Lloris in the French goal. He plays it out first time, brought down first time by Jules Koundé midway inside his own half. 30 seconds plus stoppage time to go. France lead Denmark by 2-1 here at Stadium 947 in Group D action from the FIFA World Cup on the Flash Score Live audio commentary service. Reminder, we've got one more game today, and that's going to be live with us as well. It is Argentina up against Mexico, and coverage of that begins from 7 o'clock this evening, plus all 4 games from tomorrow's action will be live with you. 2 more days of 4 games a day action as we enter stoppage time, and Eriksson puts the ball in towards the penalty. It was a teasing one, but no one could get on the end of it. And the ball's launched forward. It was a pass for Mbappe, who's on a hat-trick, brings it down, strikes it first time, but it's straight at Kasper Schmeichel in the Denmark goal. Rabiot wins it back for France. 6 minutes added on at the end of the 90 here. We played 30 seconds of them. France managed to win possession back as Denmark was looking to regain it in dangerous territory. Thuram, Kingsley Coman, he's along the line. Back to Hugo Lloris in the French goal. 5 minutes to go. France 2, Denmark 1 here. France are going to move on to 6 points. There'll be 6 wins from their last 6 at the World Cup final, so they can seal victory here, but it's not a guarantee. Braithwaite looking to backheel it in towards the path of Fjordberg, who couldn't quite read the pass, and so France retain possession. Coman, Khomeini loses out. And Denmark set to make a change, and they're going to bring off Rasmus Christensen, and they're going to strengthen their attacking options by bringing on Alexander Barr, who signed for Benfica in the summer for €8 million. It's his 5th cap for his country. As we have a look at the incident involving the second goal, Kylian Mbappe being played onside by the arm of Rasmus Christensen, who's just come off. And that could be the goal that gives France the win. Antoine Griezmann coming off, and he's going to be replaced by Fofana. So both teams making a change. Denmark with 3.5 minutes of stoppage time to find another equaliser to share the spoils. 2.5 minutes gone. France 2, Denmark 1. Ball shifted out in towards the path of Lindström. Anderson played along the line in towards the path of Eriksson. Now Christensen for Denmark. Andreas Christensen, who got Denmark level for Mbappe, re-established the French lead with 4 minutes of normal time left to play. There's 2.5 minutes of stoppage time left to go here. But Denmark being pegged back, every man back for France. Struggling to find spaces inside French territory. Andreas Christensen plays it along the line out towards the right hand flank. It's the first touch of Alexander Barr towards Eriksson, looking to tee it back in towards Barr, who wins it back, looks to play across into the area, but Rabiot manages to hook it clear for France, who now look to break forward. It's Thuram, it's 1 against 2. He now has options forward. Mbappe's inside the penalty area. Thuram looking to put the gloss on a French victory. He cannot go to the corner. He's going to have to go for goal. It's along the line towards Mbappe, and it is cleared away by Denmark only as far as Khomeini. Out to Coman on the right hand side. Back to Khomeini. France happy just to play the ball around in the 90 seconds or so that remain. Khomeini out to Coman. Khomeini again. Coman, right hand side. Gets the better of Norgard. Coman inside the air, looks to tee it across in towards the path of either Thuram and Mbappe, but Cleared away by Denmark, who are desperately searching for an equaliser. Otherwise, they will be needing a result against Australia at the Al Janoub Stadium on Wednesday. That feels like effectively a knockout match and a game that Denmark will have to win. They will have to win their final game to get out the group if the result stays this way. Australia on 3 points, Denmark on 2, and then you'd have Tunisia on 1. They play France in the other fixture in this group on Wednesday evening. That's going to be at Al Rayyan. Meanwhile here, 30 seconds to go. France 2, Denmark 1. It is France with a free kick out on the left-hand side, which is going to be taken by Dayot Upamecano. Takes it forward in towards the path of Thuram, who, if he can claim possession, will probably go for the corner, but it's won back by Bar for Denmark, who need to launch it forward. They may only have time, they'll probably only have time now for one more attack as we stray past the 6 minutes originally added on by the referee. Long ball forward, out towards the path of Bar, but it's headed away by Theo Hernandez, and that could be a crucial header away. Denmark have a throw. It's going to be their last roll of the dice. It's going to be taken by Alexander Bar. Into the 97th minute we go. France lead 2-1. Denmark with a throw. Right hand side. Bar takes in towards the penalty area. Headed away by France. And then an effort on goal by Joachim Mæhle. Sails over the bar. And that is probably the end of the Danish fight. Kylian Mbappe has turned the screw for France. It is his 2 goals which has helped propel them to the knockout phase of this year's World Cup. They've not had it their own way. Denmark caused them all sorts of problems, pegged them back level. They went 1-0 down against Australia, but France are through to the knockout World Cup. They've not had it their own way. Denmark caused them all sorts of problems, pegged them back level. They went 1-0 down against Australia, but France are through to the knockout stages of this year's World Cup. The defending champions will be in the knockout stages, and it was the magic of Mbappe which sees them claim the 3 points against the Danish side, who pushed and probed, but in the end product wasn't there. But Kylian Mbappe, with 2 inspired moments, sees France claim the 3 points here, claim their place in the last 16 of this year's FIFA World Cup finals. Denmark now have it all to do. They have got to beat Australia in their final game of the group if they are to progress into the knockout stages. But it finishes here at Stadium 947, France 2, Denmark 1.